It started. Looks good. uh, all right. Saw this morning at one point. Like someone's trying to make a new little Go server for fun. Literally just for fun. So I may have to enter as a guess who it looks like. Oh. Ping 277, very large ping. Someone said there's a bit of a lag if you do that. No ongoing games right now. I wonder if we could look at something though. What's over the board? Yeah. I haven't looked at it. Just kind of looks weird so far. We'll see if the more stuff happens. I think like a couple people played earlier when the post went up, but maybe the ongoing games isn't working. Who knows? This would be good enough on OGS right here. This is exactly what I want on OGS. Like this thing here. Get rid of this entire giant thing. Turn into this little tiny thing. This could even be settings that pop out. You don't even need this on the thing. You just like, this is what I normally want to play. Get rid of that one. And then my most common time setting right there. There we go. And then I press play. Or then like, just having the play button would be good enough, honestly. Man, just interesting. What if I click play? I don't think anyone's here, so it doesn't matter. But I think that's even though this you could say this one looks better, right? It looks like a bunch of stuff going on. I do like this, just very, very, very simple start here. So we'll have to check on this every so often, see if they keep updating. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Hmm. Anyway, we'll check back on this and see if there's anybody who ever pops in just for fun. Doesn't really matter, just something fun to look at every so often. See if there's any ongoing games at any point. Just like OGS, there's any ongoing games at any point. Just as many games over here. Looks good. Looks good. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, Dallin. I wonder if that's actually Dallin or if that's different. Because maybe Dallinar's name was already taken, so he had to do something different. But I'm guessing probably not. So, oh, what's that? Oh, okay. Yeah, I used to log us out randomly, and I haven't been logged out randomly in a long time. So maybe this is actually what fixed it here. That was like a month or two ago, a couple months ago. Huh. Maybe that was what was getting in the way for a little bit. Who knows? Let's see. Are we still at 50? Ooh, just barely still at 50. We got this. All right. So, Baduk Doctor said, no online Sumego. Said you should not do online Sumego. That's that's the way he feels about it, and I think it's probably true. Honestly, it's probably the correct way to think of it. I can just take away this eye. Looks okay because they're supposed to read everything, right? Supposed to just look at the board and read everything. You can do that online, but I think a lot of the time people don't do that, so that's a negative thing. Yeah, I think we just take the eye. Oh, never mind. See? I didn't read everything. Gotta do it that way. Because it's Atari. See? See? That's why you don't want to have this. I just proved it to myself right there. Because I did it just completely wrong. I even read that out properly. I just, for some reason, wasn't thinking it right. Huh. We can capture this one. If they do this, we capture. They have to capture again, and then we can take the corner. Yeah. Yeah, these are those nice little warm-up problems, though. Need to get my brain working. Or at least as best as it's going to get. Yes, if we do this one, they can throw in here, and we just play on the outside, so we're okay. They have to push in first, and then we play on the inside, and then they Atari, we connect here, and we should have two eyes. Yeah, it looks like that's fine. Because if they do this one, we have to do this way. I think that's the trick. That's not hard to see, but the one that you'd get stuck on. You're like, oh no, I can do this, and they're like, oh no, I lost. Not quite. We can go down, and we just make the other eye, or we capture. So that looks good. All right. Whew. So if we Atari first, they can just make two eyes. So if we play the spot that gives them two eyes, they can Atari us, and we just connect. We don't have any shortage of liberties, so we should be good. But I think because of what Baduk Doctor is saying, as I said, is that just don't do any online problems. I don't think I'm going to stop doing online problems. But I'm going to try to do more from books for a little bit. See how I feel again. I want to do this one. They play here, we play here, and then they connect, and it's a Seki shape. If they do anything else, we just we live. I think we did this one the other day. Was this in a different select collection? 1000 Wei Chi, Civic Dictionary, and Life and Death Elementary. So it's probably 1000 Wei Chi. We probably did that one. What I think these problems are best for is just sort of for training. We can go here. Training like your intuition. It's probably still here, right? Because you can do like you work through a problem set online after you've already completed it in paper, right? And then you just are able to check to see if you can still remember all the answers. That could be a good way to use it, maybe. This one's a way to make two eyes. No ongoing games yet. The refresh doesn't work. Look at that. It's fine. Still good. Still good. So like redoing problems is probably good online. I don't know how he'd say about that, but I feel like that's probably okay. Cut feels really nice here. If they do this one, we do this one. Then they can't play over here, and we can play from the outside. If they play 019, we can turn, and they can't play on the inside at all anywhere. So that seems like it's just a good variation. Got to play the battle point. Just a couple more problems than we've done here. Under the stones. Looks good. But one of the things that I think is a little bit more difficult for us, I think there are people who've made PDF stuff, but I'm not sure how many like super easy problems there are on PDF as well. I know there's some books you can get and such, But I don't even know if you can get those books very easily anymore. Like, what would be the best beginner set for a book that has good Go problems in it that is available physically? I'll have to look that up. Does this one just work? If they play here, we block, we're alive. They push, we block. Okay. Now, I'll have to look that up. I'm not going to look that up on stream. I'll look it off to the side of stream. There's not that many people here, so I can do what I want still. I won't be seeing any chats. You see all the terrible things that I look up on Amazon. We got keyboards on here. We got manga. We got Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Oh, disgusting. Yeah, so graded Go problems. Are they still available physically on Amazon? Okay, good. The graded Go problems are still available. I've never done them, but I know that's one. So about Baduk beginner. Any other beginner stuff? Just in general. Look up problems. I guess You Won't Get Dumber While Thinking by Mateusz Surma. I guess he has some problems. I've never looked at his books. Maybe we'll have to consider some of his books to look at. But I think it's just graded Go problems. Something easy to find. I'm looking for easy to find stuff, right? Not something you have to like really dig for. So when it comes to like buying books, it seems like most of them, apart from graded Go problems and the Mateusz books, really hard problems mostly. Yeah, very hard problems. Oh yeah, I wanted to buy this one. Anyway, very hard problems. Maybe I'll have to get one of these graded Go problems for Dom players one of these days. I never got any of them, so I'll have to think about that too. And so then, Baduk, yeah, 8 years ago. Oh no. What's this? Oh, there we go. There's a cool PDF that I found, but it has a little bit of everything in it. Oh well. So yeah, it looks like if you look around, you can find something, but it's actually not as easy as I would have thought to find basic Go problems as a regular PDF, apart from like the classic collection and stuff like that. I wonder if we actually need more of those, technically, actual book versions of stuff. We might. There's a lot of problems in it, though. How many problems in here? Let's go all the way to the bottom here. My goodness. 2,000 problems. I think 2,000 easy problems is what it looks like, too. I think I can solve the ones at the bottom here pretty easily, too. Oh, well. So let's close that. I just wonder if it's like good or bad to solve problems, like good habit, bad habit to solve problems in certain ways. This one looks okay, but then there's a So we need to do like this one. Then there's the Atari, and they go down, and we can capture. They throw it over here, we can capture. I think the Atari is fine to allow, because the point is that we basically have A18. We don't literally have it, but we basically have it. So we just need to fix this cutting. So we do this one. This one, the capturing race, we need to get rid of the eye. If we Atari, it's like a co shape, and that's not necessarily good. But we get rid of the eye here, then this is an Atari from the outside, which is always good. Well, I have to take B19. It's the only option. Is there anything else to do, though? If we Han A, they can do a co shape. And if we pull back, they capture us, right? So that's a co shape, so we have to play here. If they connect, we can turn. We have to turn. It's the only move. And then no matter what they do, we just have to do that. There's sort of only one move. Yeah. This is a threatening two eyes, right? So we connect here. We've got one eye here and one eye over here. Here we just want to use our dead stones. We don't want to do this. It just gets squeezed and they connect and we die. So we want to use it in some way. Yeah. I've done this one before too. I remember this one. This looks like it's just alive, right? We connect here, then they can throw in and do stuff, or they could even Atari and do a co thing. So we play the vital point here, then we can Atari, then we can capture over here or connect where they played. Then 440 here. So we just cut and kill. I think I understand why this says 4Q, but doesn't mean that it is actually 4Q level. So I wonder if there's a way to... So I've been thinking about it a little bit, right? So, like beginners, I feel like the thing that I enjoyed the most, like, so when I started playing Go, let me open it up on the other side so I can make sure I can find it. See if they still have it. Yeah. Still here. It's all good. Yeah. So when I started playing Go, what I did at the very beginning was I watched videos, right? So I was like, oh, I wonder what this is about. And so I watched some videos. And I didn't really play too much. I just wasn't sure where to play, right? So that's the first step. You have to figure out where to play. That's where online Go actually is really, really nice. Because I think a long time ago, I looked up Go and I had to like kind of figure it out on Google. And you had to figure out the proper way to Google it in order to even find the right place. So online Go probably helps that significantly. I'm guessing that's a huge help. So I think that's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing. Oh, people are streaming right now. Is that mute? Oh, therapy. Oh, yeah. I remember this person. And Smoglet. And I don't know this one. This is a Korean player. Anyway. Yeah, so that's already one thing figured out. Is like how to even find out where to play. I don't know what the symbol means. But I have a feeling it might not be 6 Dan. But it also could be. That's why it's confusing. I have no clue. I would have to go look them up. It totally could be, though. Totally could be. Anyway, I should close that. I don't know. I got distracted. I got distracted. I couldn't help myself. But anyway, back to back to what I was thinking. I feel like there's like a couple steps when you're starting off, right? So you have to watch some videos. That's how you sort of find out about it. You look it up, sort of research it a little bit. So making YouTube videos, having a bunch of YouTube videos available for beginners is probably really useful. I'm not sure. I don't feel comfortable as much with beginners as I am with other players. So that's why I haven't really made any beginner videos. That's what like Clausius and Struggle Bus and Takumigo Academy, a couple other people, they've done that already, so it's fine. So having that available right away is useful. Then being able to find where to play easily is useful. That's where OGS is very helpful. I think one of the bigger issues, if like you have to play a bunch of games to get used to it. But I think the thing that actually helped me the most was I would do these time trials on GoProblems.com. And like I don't know, if I just started at the bottom here and we just do time trials. It was like real easy things. And I believe it was just like a minute per problem. It was basically just timed Sumego, but it was fun. That's the thing with me. Like it ended up being fun because what would happen is you do them all, and then you get up to the next rank, then you get up to the next rank, but they were the same exact problems every single time. And that's what made them actually kind of useful, being the same problems every time. So I got to really see how to solve these problems. So I get it wrong, and I'll be like, well, I got to get it right now. So I do it again, and I did it again, and did it again, right? But the same idea as playing a bunch of games, right? I want to do this one, but I can't. Have to make two eyes, I guess. Yeah, so that was how I really started, was doing that. I think that was really useful for me. I think that was one of the things that helped me the most, because I was learning how to see liberties, learning how to see everything really cleanly. Because like this one, as a beginner, this one's probably really hard. It's like hard to say. Like maybe you can understand it. Maybe you play this move on accident, get it solved, but maybe that's why like a book with problems in it is probably more useful, because you might accidentally click the right answer on a lot of these without even really knowing. There are different problems than when I did it last time, though. Definitely different, because I would remember some of them are the same, but they're not the same, because some of them were really bad. They were not real problems. they were really poorly put together here. I can do either one. This one, I guess. Yeah, and what it would do is it would keep going, right? So you'd keep going up the rank. So it was like a little game. So like you solve the game and you keep going up the rank and up the rank and up the rank, and then when you finally fail 3 times, I think you had to fail 3 times. Or 4 times, I guess maybe it's the hearts here, right? Yeah, you had some hearts like it shows here. If you failed and you lost all your hearts, then you stopped ranking up. And then I would try it again, and then try it again, see if I get further and further and further. I think that actually helped me way more. So I feel like a beginner thing like that would be really nice again. Something like to solve really simple problems like that, and they just get harder and harder as you go along, and you just have to turn into like a little bit of a game. I think that's probably the best thing. Oh, that one looks weird. Look at that. Oh, it's one of the ladder things. I wonder what shape it's going to be. I hate these ladder problems on a side note. They're really annoying. Anyway. So I generally like a 10Q to 5Q area is what I sort of aim for. And the reason why I say I'm not as comfortable with beginners is because I feel like a lot of the time what a beginner needs is to just play a bunch of games and to solve a bunch of these problems and stuff, so they can see liberties and see all the little details like that. And then after they've done that for a long time is in like a certain amount of hours invested into it, If you're doing it casually, you may not get better, but if you're actively trying to improve that, then you'll just naturally get up to a higher rank overall. Most of the time. And the people who don't do that, there's not that there's anything wrong. It's that there's something else that's in the way that we need to be able to fix. And so I'm just not as comfortable with that aspect of it. If there's someone who's actually stuck in some way at the very beginner level, I have a hard time understanding like what to look for, you know? But I probably just have to teach more of them in order to get used to it. Oh, Nongshim Cup. Long time ago. So I'm always willing to try. I just know that I'm probably not the best. So even though it would give me money, sometimes I still say, maybe you should check out someone else sometimes when they're a certain rank. Or if they're like a brand new player. You know, my goal is still just to help as best I can. I'll do this a little bit later. Let's look for a pro game. Let's go by date. Any new stuff coming out? And hello, Corey. Corey Van Splinter. Good name. Yeah, you have to get from beginner to high DDK in a few months. Yeah, I feel like Clausius is he focused on that quite a bit because I think new players are probably the better way to go a lot of the time because you get a bunch of people coming through and getting lessons all the time. But it also is a little bit sad if you have them come by and then they end up quitting after a little bit because they decide they just don't really want to play, right? So that's why I also want people who have invested enough time into the game. And I think Struggle Bus is another person that everyone's recommending right now for beginners. Yeah, but after you've gotten to like the high DDK, like even like 12Q and 14Q and stuff like that, I think you have a solid understanding of certain things already, and that's when you can start really trying to push and learn other things and get better. That's where you study the thing that you enjoy the most at that point, and then if you get stronger after that, then you can start studying in a more serious way if you wanted to. There's a lot of good options right now. So there's a female Honimbo where it's two brand new players, which would be kind of fun to look at. But a lot of Japanese. I probably can't download any Japanese games. Let's see if that's still true. Yep, still can't download Japanese games. I don't understand that one. Access denied for Japanese games. I can still look at it, but we'll look around a little bit more. Oh, Taiwan Tianwan. I know someone with that name. Tianwan. I think I played them at Go Congress. I think a lot of beginner stuff is just doing what you enjoy the most and learning that stuff, watching videos, playing games. A lot of really good options because I like checking out games from random ranks. Oh, double 5P, that could be fun too. Yeah, I'm just looking at ranks here. I'm not really looking at where they like I don't want to look at Kim Ji Sok. I might do some of that. Like I was thinking I might add a day. Well, not really add a day, but one of my days I'll look at a top level game, and then I'll look at regular games after that, and like that sort of thing. I think that could be fun. Yeah. So for now, I think this one could be fun too. 2 5-dan professionals. Let's see. Can I download this one? Oh, we can't download this one either. Am I logged out? Okay, no, I'm logged in. I'm logged in. So which one would I prefer to do? Because we can still look at them. We just have to... This one ends a little bit earlier, right? Is there more after this? No. And is there more after this one? So maybe we'll look at this one since it doesn't go to endgame. And I'm not usually looking at endgame anyway. Neither of them do. But I was thinking this one could be more fun for that. So we'll move this over to the side here. Now I'll open up Codigo. Wherever it is, there you are. I'll get used to this. There we go. Yeah, since I'm streaming later on today, again, I'm not going to play any games in the morning. See, can I get rid of this NVIDIA thing? This is really annoying. Go away. You're not even popped up anywhere. Super annoying. I had to download the NVIDIA thing to download my new drivers for my stuff because it wouldn't download from the old app anymore. But now it's just annoying. No one likes that. Which one's which? This one. Okay. So there's gonna be a big mistake at some point, which will be fun to look at. But that'll be a big mistake at some point. Let's close all these. We don't want to see that. All right. There we go. So this is a Huang Shiyuan 5-down professional versus a Lin Yancheng 5-down professional. And Huang is black and Lin is white. This is from the Shiyuan preliminary round. So it's like I believe that's one of the titles in Taiwan. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's what it is. I don't know which one it's supposed to be related to, but I think that is the title. So let's open up the first 4 here. Okay, so they're starting top moves off again. There we go. I don't know why. I thought I clicked it off. Okay. This one, and this one. Okay, so I think the most common is still just to enclose your own area first, but we could see if they're a more aggressive style of player if they decide to approach it first instead. We'll see. Yep, just enclosing. I like this high enclosure. It's something I like to use a lot. I'm not sure how I feel about it when facing my opponent's area as much, but I think it's probably still okay. There's nothing wrong with it, right? Normally, white would like to break up the right side in some way. That'd be really useful. Because if you can break up the board into small pieces, white has a small advantage because of Komi. Advantage, I would say, I guess I should specify a little bit more with that. It's not that white has like a specific advantage, really. It's that if you break it into small pieces and every little area is worth like 10 points, then white already has 6.5 points, right? So they don't need to make as many areas of territory. So it makes it simpler for white to play the game. Ooh, but white's doing something a little bit unusual. It's not super unusual, just a little bit unusual in playing the enclosure on the top first. So with this high enclosure, there is this attachment here that used to be played all the time. It's not played as much anymore. But black has a few different ways of handling it. The way that I like to handle it is the Hane here, because it actually simplifies it more than you might think. Of course, if they extend, we get to fix our shape no matter which direction they extend in. We get to fix our shape. So this isn't very good. So they have to do a Hane on either side. And what I mean by simplify here is that if they Hane from this side, we Atari and push. And if they Hane from this side, we Atari and push. It's the same move both ways. So I thought that was kind of interesting when I was studying this position. So can also play over the top. In this case, we are just going to be giving away the corner to some extent, but we're getting this really nice outside position. And maybe be able to play a different way, like maybe just extending is better, I don't know, but we're getting a nice outside position. So it just depends on what you prefer as a player. And this being the most common variation. Jump, jump. And here, I believe we can play just Tiger's Mouth. We're strengthening our group. And this is good enough. There's going to be a fight from here on, but the corner is solid. The top is not settled yet, and then this right side is not settled yet either. This middle right area. So it's actually fairly easy for black to run away with this group because white has some potential weaknesses. But the reason why I said I'm not sure if I like this as much as black is because white already has a stone over here on the left side. So the attachment seems a little bit easier for white to manage. Whereas where I don't really like to play the enclosure facing my own stone. Then if they do that attachment, it's a fight that I'm going to be in my own area, which is going to be easier for me to play. So I like it. So that's something that white can always try to do, even after black approaches here. They can always try to do something on this side. So them playing this move is a little bit unusual because you're sort of reducing the top side already. And then black's going to be able to come in and play on the bottom left first. Because one of the secrets behind this corner, let's see what the next move is. Yeah, approach low. As I said, they're going to be able to play the bottom left first. But one of the nice secrets behind this move in the upper right is that if they play a move like this one, you don't have to answer. Because you're perfectly happy to also play to this direction as well. Because this is the side you want to play towards to build a box. Right, we want to build this giant box here. So the top side's not too important. It's sort of like a secondary place to go. I said it's not super important. I just want to explain why I feel this way. Like I would feel pretty happy with this sort of exchange as black, because I'm approaching the 3/4 stone, which is usually bigger to approach before approaching a 4/4. And so I got one enclosure and I got to approach, so I feel good overall. That's not going to decide the game. That's just feeling good about the game. Normally, diagonal stuff is fine. Diagonal or knight's move. They could decide, because they took this enclosure, to pincer if they're confident with a fight here. 2-space high or low is, I think 2-space low is the most common, but 2-space high or low I think is the normal sort of pincer move here. So I'd see one of these moves or backing off. Let's see. I'm going to kick instead. Sort of a very territorial way to play it. I guess I should actually see if they extend before I just play it all out. All right, there we go. Okay, so now we know what white's plan actually is, because they had a lot of options, right? It's a ton of options before this. We couldn't really narrow anything down yet. But you can see that I was not considering the kick. So white is going to be playing a very territorial game. It's kind of interesting. So that means, so like if black approached high, for example, we'd be pretty happy with this as white. This would be like the most common sort of variation here. There's nothing that black has lost here, of course, but we get a decent sized corner, and then we also have this enclosure here, so the left side's not too important and the top side's not too important. We can just move on with the game, breaking up the right side in some way. So, but when we approach low and they kick, they're actually like one more space smaller than they were with the attachment underneath. And black is basically the same amount of strength, or it's almost the same exact amount of strength. So black is usually pretty happy to do the kick, but the kick means they're going to play very territorial usually. Oh, 1 second. I can feel it coming. I was going to sneeze. Hopefully I was far enough away that it wasn't too loud. Oh, man. I don't have my mute button close by. I need to put one over here so I can mute it real quick. I'll probably set it up to a button on my keyboard or something if I need to. Anyway, now we can keep going. Yeah, so black is, as I said, just as strong as if they approached high into the other attachment. It's a maybe very, very slightly weaker, but not that different. And white is much smaller than if they played the attachment underneath. So this is a slightly good result. I think it's actually slightly a good result for black. But as I said, it's not going to really influence the game too much. It's just a personal preference again. Like almost everything in the opening is personal preference. You play what you like the most. Here as black, I'd be very happy with the game already. It'd be like, nice, I like this position. I wouldn't be thinking I won, but thinking I like this position. But now my feeling is that we want to probably break up the right side. We probably don't want another move on the left side right now. It's not important. So breaking up the right side, just approach is okay, but they could pincer because the bottom side's not very clean. Could play the 3-3 right away. If depending on how black plays, we might be able to start a fight if we want to. But the old school move here is perfectly fine, or just approach, or try to attach to this group. So that's what I'm looking for, is the right side in general. Ooh, they are going to do the 3-3. Okay. Yeah. Let's see which direction everything goes here. All right. Cool. It's going exactly how I was expecting it to go. All right, so let's see the next move first. They're going to defend. All right, cool. This unexpected, honestly. A little bit unexpected, but I guess it makes sense. Yeah, I guess it does make sense. So I was hoping they would continue so I could talk about it a little bit, because I think this is a cool little variation that I think people don't think about enough. So if we do just separate here, we are going to get pushed to this area over here. Black's going to be able to take the top side whenever they need to in order to be strong. We've not really fixed anything on the board. We're just breaking the board up, and it's going to be fine. Like a standard sort of move. Could try to get something like this one, where we're trying to like build up as much as we can, and then playing on the side in some way. That could be a way to try to do the same thing, but the top's hard to make into solid points, so this could be a cool way to do it. And of course, the normal just approach is going to be fine here as well. But the thing that I don't like about the normal approach is that after black pincers, and we take the corner, because we're going to play it very simple. This is the variation I usually check. So after we have this, and black just plays one more move here, we sort of have a pretty solid area. And white's just very, very flat on the bottom. They're not going to be growing anywhere. They do have territory, but they're not going to be getting much out of it. And then it'll just depend on how these extensions go. Whoever gets this one first, or whoever gets this one first, right? If black gets to play on the top first with like a... because they could probably do it now, for example. They could do like a shoulder hit now, have it grow very wide instead of just taking the points. That means white could also do the same sort of thing. But if we have this sort of idea going on, you can see how wide black's area is. It looks very, very big. So it gives black a lot of local strength. Whereas if we take this corner first, if black does the same thing, this is why white's pushing instead of sliding. Sliding, there's not a good strong follow-up like this, but if you push and they hane, then if they tanuki now, you have this Atari and push and extend to fight locally. And this is actually a really good fight to do. I need to learn more about this, honestly. I need to learn more about how this fight works. I should probably study it. This is why this 3-3 is quite nice here. And the reason why the fight is so good is because white already has a stone here at f3. So it's actually already limiting the amount of space that black can have. Like, let's just have black turn here and then make a base They can maybe go all the way to here if they try, but they have to turn first in order to even make that base. So they need 2 moves in a row. So if they turn, maybe we take away the base. And if they're jumping, we're jumping. They have to defend on the other side too. And then if they play here right away, maybe we can push one more time. Now their base is only 2 spaces. And then they still have to survive somehow. This is why it's actually kind of nice. If you have a stone already on the bottom left, then this sort of fighting move is really useful. And sometimes, even if the fight doesn't end up very good for you, as in like you're not really gaining anything, like you're not really attacking too much, sometimes just the ability to break the center in a big way. We'll do this one. Just the ability to break the center in a big way could be good enough, right? Because maybe you need to make the center not points. So it's also a useful thing here. Which is why black is actually defending instead. If black just extends, white pushes one time, and technically there's a little bit of a connection here. So we're not undercutting white. Usually you only want to extend like this if you're undercutting your opponent. Like if this stone was on the 4th line instead of F3, F4, then crawling here is a sort of annoying for the position of their stone. So here, white can actually, let's see if they do play it. Okay, they're just going to extend. But white could also play like a move like this one to take even more points here. But I think white just wants to be solid first. We do not want to allow black to block here. Black gets some extra free moves there, and then they're an even stronger group, so we don't really want to allow that. So we do want to either play this one or, like in the game, extend here. Extending, we're taking away the tiger's mouth, a very, very strong move. But black did this so that they could just Tanuki. I'm tempted to play again, but I think it's too small right now. White does have the attachment here, which is why they backed off instead of playing the Unites move. So if black doesn't play again, white can attach there and turn this into at least a decent amount of points. But I would expect either the right side or the shoulder hit on the stones on the upper left. That's my most expected move. Yeah, the right side first. Yeah, I kept going back and playing this because I have a wall and I have an enclosure, and I really want an extension from my enclosure, and I really want an extension from my wall. So this is actually basically as good as a double purpose move. It really is double purpose, even though it really is only doing one thing at the same time. Extending from 2 different positions. Connecting them up a little bit is very, very important. When you have a wall, another wall, you really do want extensions from your walls. Yeah, I know AI doesn't care about that as much anymore, but it still cares about it quite a lot. So the only question that I have so far for AI, is it right to Hane and then play this one, or is it better to extend instead? Because this is the other option you could do. You could just extend and extend, but you can't be sure about when you're getting Sente. And if you take it now, white's able to Hane here at some point. So I am curious about that. So let's look at top moves here. Extend is the move. Let's let it load for a second. Hane is still the move as well. Okay. Either one should be fine. So let's look at Hane and then protect. Now I'm just making sure it's not a big mistake. I've figured it was fine. I've seen AI suggest it before. So yeah, just protect here, and then we can move on. I do like that. I do like that. And so my other question is, when can we move on if we just extend instead? Now we want a Hane. But now there's a cutting point again. So I don't know if I like that. But it says it's also just as good to extend now instead of playing another move. If they Hane, we just Hane back. And we just take this area. We're giving them some extra points, but we're getting a little bit more secure on the side. Okay. I was curious about that one. based on what I saw, I think I would choose in the future to do this one. Because I think that looks a little bit nicer. I think this looks a little bit nicer versus just extending. I guess we should check, can white just cut right now? Probably shouldn't. Okay, good. I was hoping there was no cut. All right. If white does cut, we can extend either direction. Yeah. White's going to be the one with a weak group in the center here. Okay. I've seen people do that. That's why I wanted to look really quick. If it was considered okay or not. And it's not really considered okay here. So that's good to know. All right. So now we saw AI suggesting something when we saw it go through a variation here. The AI wanted the left side now. The left side and the top side, you could argue the top side is bigger because there's more space. But the left side is also threatening a group more. Because if we play the top side move, the corner's not really threatened. They could even just do a knight's move here to just continue to build. So the top side is big, but it's not too important. So the left side would be probably the normal move here. The only thing that I'd be worried about is black just straight up going to the shoulder hit and just expanding quite large. I think that makes sense. Let's see what they do. Well, they are going to approach the top first instead. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with being approached on top like this. I said there probably isn't any real mistake yet. No, like red moves or anything, right? But as I said, I feel okay with being approached here. I don't really feel bad about it. I'm actually even very tempted to just do a knight's move over the top. I don't really want to pincer and jump out because I'm ruining my own area when I do that in this game. Usually, that's why I usually like to have this enclosure facing a black stone here, because then when I pincer and jump, I'm actually building a different side of the board. Then I can just leave this corner to just be flexible and live, right? So we could just move over to the left side and play there, or we could play like a knight's move or some other type of move here. I'd be pretty happy with a knight's move here. I don't know if it's good. I'd just be happy with it. Let's see what they do. Ooh, attaching on top. Same idea. Same idea. I was thinking I don't really want to attach, but it's probably fine. Because it's just going to make white stronger locally. But black is also going to get more in the center too. So normally Hane, extend, and they did not decide to continue. So Hane, extend, and they peeped here, which is probably just going to get a connection for sure. Yep. And then white could continue. So normally you take the tigers out the way, then you can push again. Yeah, tigers are good. Good. And usually black just blocks. Sit block. And white could push here, but they decide to invade now. Okay. I feel like this was kind of their choice here. They're already playing a very territorial game. So I think this was their goal from the beginning. By approaching here, right? So you play a more steady game by approaching on this side, trying to bother this group to some extent. If we can bother this group, then that means we can break into the right side a little bit easier. Because they're going to have to run somewhere. And so if they're running to that direction, we might be able to get some free moves on the right side. And if black just defends this group, I will just play very simple. Black just defends this group, makes it really strong. Then we got extra points in the upper left, and then we can move on to trying to do something here if we want to. But even just approaching the top side would probably still be good because we're still building a very large area too. We have two corners here, this other one that's pretty big, and then we can continue to build a fairly big area. This is probably acceptable. But you can see that there's quite a large center potential. So it's sometimes you don't want to do that. So that's why they approached here first, because their goal was to break into the side instead of trying to play simple moves like that. They want to break the board up like I was talking about, but they want to do it with more of a fight. Is this a mistake? Is this too early? It'll depend a little bit. Can black just live very easily? Connect everything up and live? And can white just live very easily? And is it worth it? Is white in danger on the top? Is the left side big enough to just play as black? I think this might be a little bit early. I would probably want to play one more move here. Even if I ignore the top side, I'd probably want at least one more move on this side. But that doesn't mean it's bad. I just want the knight's move again. I really like the knight's moves. Okay, they're going to attach again. So they did the same thing. I wanted the knight's move, but they did the attach instead. I think as white, I'm pretty happy to just Hane again. Same as the top side. Oh, wow. Okay. Not what I thought. They attached here first. So it looks like they're just trying to make a mess over here in general. See what they can get. Black extends here to get rid of as many forcing moves as possible. They're still push and cut, but the corner's alive, so the push and cut is okay because we can cut on this outside here. And if white has to crawl and we capture more on the outside, that feels really good. So we don't have to worry about push and cut. I think white should just go back to the Hane. Yeah, they're back to the Hane now. And black probably just extends. Black's playing, I like the way black's playing. They're playing very, very simple and good. And then the white player is playing like a normal fox player. So that seems good too. Seems good too. Normally we take away the tiger's mouth, but we could also slide because the point is we're trying to just live here. So sliding could be a way to just live. Like we're threatening to go in even deeper over here. And black still needs to connect up a little bit. If white really wants to fight, they can push again to separate. Is it good to separate? I think if we push, black plays this tiger's mouth, we're threatening to connect up again. So white would need to play another move. And then black would need to take care of their group. Am I okay with that? Well, white's just as weak. So if we're running this out, that feels okay too. But we also get to solidify this area. So I'd be pretty happy with that. So I think white should probably play the tiger's mouth area or this jump. Okay, playing the jump first. The reason why I thought of the jump instead of the push is not because it gives you like a huge amount of more space. I was just thinking they attached here in the corner. So they probably wanted the jump instead. Because if they just do this one, and there's a block here, we're sort of just giving that away. If we just extend here, it'll depend on if black can manage this group in some way. And there's this cutting point, right? So we have to be a little bit worried about some stuff. Be careful, I guess, more so. So black looks like they're going to be okay. So this one, if black's going to be okay anyway, we want to try to adjust this area. Take as much as we can. Black's just cutting right away. I didn't talk about it, but I should have. I just want to see the next move. I was curious. Yeah, because we don't really want to block. We already, like, this is what white wants here, right? White wants us to just block. And now they've already gotten the nice extra exchange. They can make a tiger's mouth here. Now we're already sort of cut off, and they almost have two eyes. That feels really good. We do not want to allow that. So black cuts here to just sort of connect his groups and stay strong. I like black so far. Black's doing really well. Or at least black's playing the way I like to play. So I don't know if they're doing well or not, but they're playing the way I would like to play. A lot of the moves that I would probably play myself. Except for the attachments. I would do knight's move a lot of the time, but attach feels a little bit more forceful. Maybe it's actually fine. We'll check when we look over it with AI later, because I don't think it matters too much right now. Nothing that's too big of a deal. So white could extend down or Atari and extend down. But any move to extend is threatening this stone. So just extending in general is going to be good. So here to play over here will be fine, or here to make sure to get an eye and then play to the right side. So I like going down first. I don't know if they want to Atari or not, though. That's the only thing I don't know, if Atari is good or useful. But we'll see what they do. Yeah, just extend down. Okay. Yeah, so my feeling was that if we Atari, that could be a bad exchange. We might be making black stronger. If we Atari and go down, black will need to move, right? But is it useful for us to do this? I don't know. Because now this sort of connection feels really good for black. Like all their stones are connected nicely. So just depends on if we can use it. Because there is like this one, for example. If we really need to like connect underneath or do something. But I think if black pushes down anyway, we can still do that. So black would have to extend to the side to prevent that anyway. So that they are going to do that. So this is why I'm not sure if it was good. But the other thing now is if we did do this Atari, then this move is more sente because it's starting to capture something. That also means that moves like this might be more sente, depending on the outside moves, because we're threatening to capture the stones. So getting rid of that liberty could be really useful. So I don't know. I actually don't know if black should have taken the liberty or not too, but this is the safer move for black to play anyway. So as I said, I still like black. I like the way black's playing. I don't know if black's good. I just like the way black's playing. If we look at territory, white's probably way ahead right now, and white's going to live pretty easily. So we need to see how black is going to attack this group. See what profit they do. This will be interesting to watch, I think. We're still going to get something in the center, but if white just gets all the territory and then they break up our biggest area, it'll feel a little bit bad. But if we get to the left side first, it might be okay. So I was thinking knight's move. Attach could work too, but I was thinking just knight's move here. Ooh, extra large knight's move. Just regular large knight's move, I guess. So I does this one. Yeah, okay. So I guess if black had blocked right here, might have to be a little more conservative because of the Aji here. Because if white goes all the way over here, maybe there's something annoying here that we have to worry about. It may not matter right now, but there's always something to look at here. Always some sort of Aji to think about. And because we took a liberty, maybe it's possible to do something. If they can give it up, though, they can give those two stones up. They're not too big of a deal. So they're able to play a little bit more of a loose shape. So I am very interested to see what black is going to do. Is he just going to surround? Or are they going to do something different? Because, like, my first instinct, my first feeling, is just playing like a move like this. A large knight's move. We're just surrounding. Then they'll have to live. But is that good? Is that a good idea? That's normally fine. But if we force them to run out, that could also be useful for the future. But it's hard to force them to run out easily here. It seems like they probably have two eyes pretty easily. Because they need 8 in a row on the second line to have two eyes. And they'll have about 7, but they also have a little bit of third line. So it looks like they're more than likely alive. Or at least we'll be able to live fairly easily. So surrounding could be the right idea. Force them to live. But let's see. Okay. Yeah, all right. This makes sense. I was a little bit too focused on surrounding them or trying to do something. We're actually done. We're settled already. We don't need to keep playing. As a matter of fact, it's better to not just finish surrounding here. Because there's another weak group we can potentially harass over here. We can get some extra strength here. This will tell us the type of move we can play later. And we're going to be breaking up the potential territory on the top. They broke our area. We need to break the top side. And then I still want to get to the left side first, but we'll see what they do. This makes a lot of sense. Attach underneath. I think like the normal variation is something like push, hane, protect, block, come out. The reason why black can block here is because white's not necessarily alive, so they can just try to survive themselves, and then white has to live and black has to live, so it's an equal fight. So white doesn't necessarily want that, I'm guessing, so white attaches instead. Now if black blocks and connects, white is almost alive and they can separate. White can live with like 1 or 2 more moves, and white can still come out towards the center. So be a little bit happier there. So black actually connects over the top instead. I don't know if white's going to connect. Let's see. They do not connect. Okay. They didn't have to connect. That's why I was not sure if they would. White's playing the hane here instead. But my only issue here, let's give black an even better result, right? Is that even after we've built all this, are we able to get a nice position somewhere? Yeah, I guess so. If we connect now and they live, we'll just say this is alive, 1 move each. Then we actually still have some center potential that we can build. We don't have to go to build it right away, but we still have it available to us. And we can just go back and play like a big move on the left side here in some way. Maybe even get a little closer because white's stronger. Like that, maybe. Could also threaten to come in and take the corner. So white doesn't want to just give them an easy influence. So they're going to hane first, which is getting some weakness. But black is 100% capturing the stone, right? Yep, 100% capturing the stone. This feels so good for black. I actually feel really good capturing that stone. It gets rid of our cutting point, right? So we don't have a cutting point there anymore. We don't have to worry about that. And it reduced some of their points, and we can still have cutting points on their area, so we can hane over the top. We're still getting just as strong. They're getting a little bit more territory on the top side. I think we still hane. Yeah, still hane. White's double haneing. We can double hane too. We're not going to, though. All right. Does white need to play again? I kind of don't want to keep playing in that area as white, but you kind of need to either connect or push or keep pushing. If you keep pushing, you have to take Sente to do something. There are a lot of cutting points here. So there's a big ko shape here. Okay. Like I said, I don't really want to keep playing. But the problem I had was there was a ko, not a cut, but like a ladder. And this would be really nice for black, right? There's no way around that. This is just great for black. So we're going to play to get rid of the ladder. I think that's the big area for sure. That's definitely a big area. I was wanting it as black. But we're leaving weakness again, right? We're leaving even more weakness. So there is a ko to capture a couple extra stones. But even if we just turn over the top and then invade the left side, that feels good too. So simplifying just this turn here would be good enough. If they connect, then we can just jump over here. We could also just jump over here first if we're thinking they won't connect. Because let's say we turn and they jump back, we capture this one stone. Our Panuki is still strong towards the center, but it's not doing anything to the left side because we already protected it. So turn could be a little bit slow. We might want to jump in first. But fighting here makes sense. Black has all this strength. They now need to fight a little bit here. They can't just give it all away anymore. So I think I'm interested to see who is winning before we move on. Or look at the move stats and see who's winning. My feeling is that black is ahead, or at least has the more easy to win with position. But white does have a lot of territory, a lot of very solid territory, and black does not have a lot of very solid territory. So it will 100% depend on the fight. So if the AI thinks the fight is good for white, then the game will be bad for black. I don't remember what the end game looked like because I already forgot. But I know it's almost over because it was just a fight here that ended the game. If black loses the fight, they definitely lose the game. And if white loses the fight, they probably also just lose the game right now. So we could say it's still 50-50. But I feel like it's leaning a little bit more towards black. Not a huge amount, but a little bit more. Let's see. Oh, white. It is leaning towards white. Yeah, see, I favor black way too much. Black was playing very slowly. But I really like it. I don't care how slow it was. I really like it. The only thing that I would say is where black maybe made a little bit of a mistake was just letting them have the top side so easily. I felt like they probably should fight anyway. Even though it's going to be a little bit easier for white, I feel like the fight was still probably useful. And I don't know how I would have probably played it almost exactly the same way on the right side. So my feeling is that the only real big mistake could have been this top side, how they played the top side. Like they could have done it a little bit differently. Because we just played very, very passively and let them get a lot of points. All right. So black has to invade and has to do something. Let's see what they do. So they're going to invade low. My first instinct was high, because I'm going to be able to connect a little bit better to the center. But it also means that if they can block me off from the center, I'm having a hard time. And low, we're going to build it. We can potentially connect underneath, which is why this one's pretty good. So if they play from the center, we connect underneath. I don't think we want to jump here. We don't want to jump down at B11 right now because black jumping out, I think, makes it easy to connect. So I would want to cover over the top in some way. Maybe just diagonal here could be good too. Let's see what they do. They're going to jump down first, yeah. This is where I'm really bad at fighting this, so that's why I want to see this, how this ends up happening. Because black has a lot of strength. I would just expect the jump here. But we'll see, I guess. Ooh, attach first. Okay. Black wants to try to get a little bit of extra strength before they do anything, or just settle directly. I think separating might be exactly what black wants. So letting him connect back up is probably okay, but that gives him a lot more strength. Let's see. They're going to separate. Okay. I figure this is what black wanted, because now they can maybe live in the corner and switch here instead of trying to survive on the side. But they're going to do a cross cut instead. Is that a mistake? It's probably not a big mistake if it is one. Because we want to make this a messy area for white anyway, so I think it's probably okay. Even if white just captures one stone, their corner is in a lot of trouble. We can't let them do that. So let's look again here. It's just going to Atari. We have to extend. There's no other move. Oh, and they're connecting. I feel like this is... Maybe it's right, but it does feel wrong too. We are letting black just push through and destroy this area. Yep, that's what they're doing. So black is able to just do this one. We do not block, of course. There's Atari and then capture. We do not extend either because that gives more in-game stuff. So we have to turn here. If we extend and they block, and we try to go to surround, you can see that we might be able to just do this one. That's possible. And then if that doesn't work, we can still do this one to connect underneath and get some eye in the corner here. So whichever one works, we can do. So yeah, it's not very good to play that shape. It's a bad shape here. That is why white turns. That makes a lot of sense. I'd be very tempted just to Hane here. Be very happy just to Hane, but also push here would be really comfortable. If we can block, even if they cut us, we can extend in the corner here and capture some stones on either side, it looks like, potentially. So the push might be just Sente. So black is pushing first. I was pretty sure that's Sente. So white has to turn. If we just want to settle, we can turn now in the center here. But it might be good to try to get something a little bit extra. I'm not sure what extra, but it could be good to try. Let's see what they do. They're just going to turn. Okay. All right, so was this fight good enough for black? White got points on the left side, but they lost the points on the top. And they have a weakness here. So white probably needs at least one more move on the top here. They're going to connect up here. And then we still have a lot of Aji. There's still quite a lot of Aji. If we just think about this, Atari on this side, extend up, threatening to capture some stones, even if it's a Ko, still threatening. There's also just clamping here. Could be a good way to try to make some Aji work. Just peeping here to do a cut could be good too. But even just the double Atari might be fine right now. Okay, so before we look at the next move, I already looked. So before we do it, because there's gonna be reading and stuff here, a lot of reading, and I'm not ready for that. But before we do that, now that this fight is going to be concluding, basically, I want to know if white made the right decision. I didn't actually want white to Atari and to capture the one stone on the left side. That was actually not the feeling I wanted from this, but maybe it was the easiest way because we didn't want our stones to be too weak as well. Maybe it was correct. And I also didn't want black to turn in the center. I kind of wanted black to Hane here to try to live. Or it would, like, it just felt like you should Hane there. Even if you get surrounded a little bit, I feel like you should Hane there. Because there's all a bunch of cutting points everywhere, shortage of liberties. We probably don't need to worry as much as black did. So white might have gotten something extra here. So maybe it's still slightly good for white, but it'll depend on how this fight goes. But I think overall black was successful. So I think it's a closer score than before. It's probably not 90 or 80% for white anymore. Ooh, it's still 90%. See? So now I wonder if it's I can keep it open, I guess. So now I wonder if black did really have to just play this Hane. Because I felt like this was mostly successful. We'll have to check. We'll have to check here in a little bit. Because I did feel like this was mostly successful for black, except for the turn in the center. I felt like that was wrong. I don't know if it was 9 points wrong, but it did feel wrong. Felt like a lack of a fighting spirit, and that's me saying it. So that's how you know it's bad. Okay. So black is trying to fight back now. They're doing this Atari. This is what I said. Connect here. And then black is playing from this direction. Okay. Saving their group first before doing anything else on the top. I don't know how I feel. I think I was gonna look more, but I think I want to see where black made a mistake here. Because I actually don't like what's going on. I feel like, yeah. Oh, the push was bad right now. Okay. Just Atari first. Just Hane first. Push was bad. Oh, because there's still Aji to bring it out. Okay. I see. I wanted the push too. I did want the push too. But yeah, 1.4. Yeah. Extending in the corner. Yeah. There's a bunch of Aji here. We need to play the Aji and not just connect up. It does say the connecting up is fine, but we do need to play this Aji here. Okay. And then if we go back a little bit. So now the turn's good. That's just funny. Yeah, the crosscut, I already said the crosscut felt a little wrong. It felt weird, but as I said, I know they're trying to make sort of a mess in the area, but it didn't feel quite right. I said, well, black can go and live in the corner now if they want to. And that seems like that would be a normal move to play. Just turning now. Okay. So this is where we checked it, and it was 4 points for white. And I wanted to sort of turn here and then come in, which is what AI is suggesting. But just going in first is not a big deal. But because white jumped down, which I thought was not a very good move, I thought it was fine, but I didn't think it was a very good move. The diagonal move that I suggested was better, it looks like. Not that much better, though. It's basically the same. So it's, yeah, not a big deal, but this lowers the win rate a little bit more, probably just because there's more of a chance to attack the white stones. And then we get in over here, and since they separate, we can just live in the corner. Let's let it think for a second. Because that looks like the right move. We just live in the corner, like I said. Just live. And now if we look at the thing, it's basically the same. We're still like 4 points here. So it's successful enough. So we lose some from the crosscut. This was the only move. Okay, that's good to know. It was hard for me to tell. Really hard for me to tell. I felt like it's probably okay because we're saving our stones, but I also didn't really want to do it. And then just pushing down here right away is not good. Because I guess it fixes white a little bit too easily. All right. There we go. Fixes white a little bit too easy. If white just protects, we can move over the top. Now we can Hane first too. Why not? There's still some Aji here. But we just sort of connect up. But we're having a hard time with this here. So the way they handled the fight was not very good. I think a 4-point game this early on is not that big of a deal, especially with how much influence black has. And having that such a strong influence is usually going to be helpful for the game no matter what. But the thing that ends up being wrong here is that we made white too thick on the left side. Their group is too strong for us to really do anything. So it ends up being a bad idea. Okay, and then we're just defending here, also trying to build the center. White fixes all their Aji. Black peeps here. We probably just connect, right? Yeah. Just connect. And now black is just trying to take as much of the center as they can. But I think it's a little bit too late to that, because you still have to worry about some of your stones, right? Even if you get a little bit of extra points in the center, if we capture an extra 10 points for free while you're defending your center, that's not very good. So you can't allow that. And then White's gonna be able to jump this direction to block this off and ruin some of the points here. White be able to jump from this side. It feels a little bit open, but as I said, when you have a really large moyo like this, really large potential, there's always a chance to come into the game again. So White starts off very simple. Like I said, they can do this knight's move here. And Black's going to do whatever they can to try to take as much center as they want. But the problem is this is already a reduction by White. They can move on. And so White does just move on. Then they're defending their weak group and reducing all the center here. So you see how it's going to be kind of difficult to just take the center. So my question is, where did Black go wrong earlier? And I feel like the biggest mistake probably has to be potentially reading here, if there was a better way to play here, but not trying to fight here was probably a small mistake in some way. So I'm kind of interested in seeing what's going on before we even look at the rest of the game. Because I feel like it's going to be too hard to build the center at that point, especially in a pro game. So let's look at it from here real quick. Still like a really good game. White played really well. There's still not that many moves, but White still played really well. But Black just playing like just slightly worse. Just a little bit worse all the time. Looks like. So let's see. None of these moves will be mistakes. These are all just personal preference, like I always say. Oh, approaching there. It likes approaching a little bit more. Huh. Doesn't matter, but it's kind of cool to look at. This was fine. So we're looking for the big mistake first. My feeling was that it was the top side, or at least that made the game too easy for White. Even if it wasn't the top side. Knight's move, again, like I said. I like the knight's move. Knight's move, always good. But I think it's fine with either of them. Attach. Too passive over here. This is a passive move, it's true. But I know we were also trying to sort of prevent them from being able to do too many forcing moves. The one over the top is better. This is a stronger position, so I understand it. This one made sense though, so I wasn't questioning it really. I would probably play the tiger's mouth. I wouldn't have thought on this move. I would just play the tiger's mouth probably. If they extend, then I go extend, because now the group is very, very thick, and they have to live with two sides. So I'll be happy with that. Hane and Knight's move was right. Cut was okay as well. Should let it think. All right, cut was okay as well. And yeah, taking the liberty was important. Okay, I did point that out a little bit. So just another slightly too passive move. Even another move that I probably wouldn't have played. That's interesting, actually. That's kind of interesting. They played just very slightly too passively in two spots already. Because like I mentioned in the game, it might be important to actually have this. Because when we play here, they can play a lot further away. You see that the move at 2 is further away. We play here, they have to play a little bit closer. That means that there is Aji here that they would have to worry about if this liberty was gone. But so they'd need 8 in a row to have like a fully living group here. So if we're able to use those liberties to prevent them from having that 8 in a row, that makes it really good for us. That's why this move is bad, and that's why I was looking at it and thinking that maybe it ends up being a little bit of a bad exchange. That's what I talked about earlier. So it ends up a better shape. And then Black should, they can play on the top side or the left side. I like the left side a little bit more. But even at this point, I think White is already a little bit ahead. Yeah, 2.3. Interesting. And then black plays the top here, and we should have... Let's let it load for a second before I say that for sure. Okay, it's fine with both of them now. It's fine with both of them. It really wants the Hane, but it's fine with playing either move. So not too big of a mistake. Capture, of course. But then the Hane here is a mistake. Because we should just take the left side now. Oh, yeah, duh. This actually makes a lot of sense. I would have probably Hane'd right away because I just feel like it. But it's like a real easy move to think of. But we just defended ourselves. This capture got rid of the cutting point, which means we don't have any weakness here anymore. We don't need to Hane anymore. One of the reasons why we would Hane is to prevent white's good move, right? So let's do some exchange over here. If white had this connection, then we want to Hane now, because if white extends up or peeps or does something else, it's hurting our stones. That's the reason why we're Haneing here, to make ourselves stronger. So when we capture here, we don't need the Hane anymore. We could cut, or we could play on the left side. If the left side was good, the Hane just feels natural, so I understand it. But yeah, that's something to really think about in my own games, because I play this very thick style as well. I mean, hey, he's a professional, so that's good. I can play like a professional. That's good enough. Yeah, so I do the same sort of thing. I should look at moments like this where I'm like, oh, I just made myself very strong. I don't need to play again. Yeah, good point. Good point. This is where I would have probably just turned right away. I wouldn't have really thought about it. I got to be honest. Let's let it think for a second. I would have turned right away and then invaded the left side. I think capture would be good enough. Good enough. But interesting that it doesn't suggest invading right away. She wants this one a little bit more. But I would probably just invade right away. One of these moves. Then they do diagonal. Then we have to try to live a little bit. And we can live, but I feel like this is a good exchange overall. Good enough. But just a 4-point game. But all right, that's kind of interesting. Just too slow and couldn't find a place to really attack strongly. Too slow, and there wasn't a strong attack anywhere. That's why, since we have all this strength, AI is suggesting this so that we can turn this into a fight. White's a little bit ahead because we played slowly, or because black played slowly. And so we turn it into a fight so that we can make up for that fact. You have to be good at fighting, though. It's funny, I play this style. I play this thick style like this, but I'm not good at fighting, so it's not very useful for me. I need to play better in that regard. Yeah, but then they made a mistake in the fight. This is what would happen in my actual game, playing someone who was stronger than me. I would just make a simple mistake like that, where I thought this was good enough. I would have Hane'd, though, instead, a little bit different, but I would have thought this was good enough. And then I wouldn't have realized this was just bad. It was just not good for me. Oh, they're peep first. Okay. Slight mistake, for sure. Like, they will extend up. You have to connect it now. We can technically Hane over the top. This is why influence is good, though, because if white makes these small mistakes like this, we get even more. And white comes in over here, and we block. This one first, and then this one, this one, this one. And yeah, black is just taking the center. And white exchange and jumping in. This is why the center is difficult, because after something like this, it's now kind of hard to build everything again. And white's still 10 points ahead because black left to back off too much. And white got too many points on the top in the middle area. No, the top and then the bottom. That's way too large. And then they also got a decent amount of points to live here. So let's just see. Black turns in. That's a big move. White plays the center because it's really big too. Black locks off as much as they can. Push. We're just waiting for a slow move from white, basically. Slow move from white in order to try to come back. But instead, we end up playing the slow move first. Not too slow, though. Like, that's a +1 versus a 0. It looks like almost all of white's moves are giving a plus of some sort, which feels bad. Yeah, good exchange. Push. Bagzio. Black still has to manage his weak groups. Black still has to do all the same stuff, but they also have to now worry about their one big territory being taken down. And this is actually why I don't suggest going all in on a big territory. But if you naturally get it, if it just happens, right? Like right here, they decide to play a move to try to build the largest territory they can, right? If it happens naturally, that's good. But if you have to build it like this, it's often a mistake of some sort. Something happened, something bad happened, right? So yeah, it's just a little bit sad. I clicked the wrong one. Yeah. So delete that one. You can see if there are any more mistakes here. White played really well. Look at that. White played really well here. This is only like 100 moves, but white played really well. Black's still playing well. Like, black's not making huge mistakes or anything. But it's just that white's just playing a better game. Easier game to play. I don't know. Whew. I'm a little bit sad that the player that was playing more like me lost, though. I'm a little bit sad. I do like this. I'll keep this in mind. I do like this one. I did want to play the left side or this knight's move. As you see, the knight's move is slightly better. Very small difference, though. And I think I would have played almost the same as black, except for I would have felt like I wanted to block here. I wouldn't have known why. I didn't know the exact variation over here, but I would have wanted to block there. And we have to do this one, but now we can surround because they're not alive. And now we're sort of all connected here, right? They're still not alive here, so they have to play another move. So yeah, if they live here, they can go back. We can play the big move on the left side, and it's sort of just an even game. So this would have been probably closer to what I was looking at because I kept looking at the left side more than they were. And they let the left side get approached first. Didn't I say, I think, early on in the review that it'll depend on whoever gets the left side and the top first, like which person gets which side first? Then white got both of them. So that's the person who won. I guess I wasn't wrong. I was not wrong. Yeah, because white still has the top and still has the left side. So yeah, I was definitely not wrong about that. Yeah, I would play just some very small differences. And those small differences sort of mattered even against the professional. So I don't know if this is how they normally play or not, or if they were just having a bad day. This is, what's their name? Huang, Shiyuan. Maybe we can look them up. They have 295 games. Wow, look at that. A 50% winning rate is pretty good. That's actually not bad. So they're doing okay. They're doing okay overall. But they're in Taiwan, so they're not playing like I believe they don't. often play with the strongest Chinese players. I guess they do Samsung Cup. Samsung Cup. So I guess they do. Okay. Strongest Chinese and Korean players, so I was saying there, but it looks like they do have some games. All right. Well, anyway, that was fun to look at. A little bit more of a drink. Getting thirsty. Anyway, something to keep in mind for my own games. You need to sort of keep up the pressure as best you can when you're doing this. And that's what they were not doing. Like, I would have played a couple differences, right? I'd have played this one. This is the one that I would have felt more naturally inclined to play. Then if they still did this, I would have maybe, I don't think I would have played one of these other moves, but I might have still just cut. Maybe just blocking and cutting is good too, because there's not enough as much room on the top to live, right? Yeah, just cut is still fine. So let's say we would do just the cut again, and now we can block either direction because we played from this top side, because now they don't have as much room to escape. Oh, and this is where I would have failed, though. This is where I would have failed. Let's let it think for a second. This is where I probably would have failed a little bit. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. I might have actually thought of this move. But I would have wanted to play here, and that makes it a little bit easy on white. Not a big mistake. It just makes it easier on white. Right? Because like we're still both in the 80s and 90s, so I'm fine. But that means number of actual big mistakes, right? I don't think I would have played this one, but I would have definitely thought about this move. Like, yeah, you can live over here. But, oh, breakthrough. I would have just Atari from the outside. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But basically what you see, what I'm getting here is that I'm basically getting this sort of connection for free really nicely. So I'm getting a nice little wall here that I can then use to attack on the top side. Now, there was a better way to do it, but it doesn't want us to connect once it's pushed through. We Atari, if they extend, we capture, so they have to Atari here, then we capture, they go underneath. Now we can Tanuki first. But we actually have stronger shape this way versus the other way. Yeah, okay. So just changing it by a little bit. I might have found some of the right moves, but even if I just played the standard move that I would have normally played here, this would have been fine. Not a big deal. And I would just play the top side. But I would have probably played high again on the top. And then they could attach. So because of the attached, you can play low here. We can peep here, whichever one they want. We can do a nice, beautiful empty triangle and jump out. We're just wanting to attack a little bit. We have this strength here. We have the ability to surround them and maybe make it so they aren't alive. So we want to attack in some way. That's something that I'm working on quite a lot, is figuring out how to find the right pressure point after I've made my influence. That's my biggest sort of weakness right now, is I don't do that well enough. We can probably close this now. That was kind of fun to look at, though. Close this one here. Oh. 12,000 euro for European Go Congress weekend tournament for each rank. I'm joining. Oh, Chinatown Weiqi Cup will take place as the weekend tournament to the European Go Congress 2025. Guests from outside Europe and Europeans. What makes the tournament special? 20Q to 6 Dan. We'll have a chance for a prize. Oh, 20Q to 6 Dan. Oh. So this isn't open for professionals. And 7 Dan or higher players. Oh, okay. Hilton Hotel, nice. This would be fun to do. Maybe we're going to European Go Congress instead, guys. We can win $10,000 or 12,000 euro real quick. Come back home. I don't know if I have the money to even go there, but I'd have to actually win, I think. Oh, top 5 get something? I don't think our top 5 get anything in the oh, then best in rank gets something, and then top 5 in the open. Okay. I've been in like top 10-ish area, like a little bit away from there, like maybe top 12 or something like that, but I haven't gotten to the top 5 yet, so that could be fun. It's cool though. That's cool. I could play in this tournament and play the open, and then maybe actually get enough money to go back home. That could be fun. Some Warsaw. Sounds like fun, right? I've been playing GeoGuessr. I know what places look like now, so I'll be able to figure it out. Still no one playing? I just figured I'd look to see if there was, but since there's no one, we can close this now. That's really cool. Yeah. That's super cool. Seemed like the best time to come down. But you know, if there was a really strong Korean Chinese player and they saw that they could get $12,000 just by flying over and visiting somewhere, right? I mean, they could easily say they're 5 Dan. They don't need to say they're 7 Dan. That wouldn't be very nice, but they could. And then they could even get, because this is a separate tournament, right? So they could even get this too. So that's cool. Oh, that's interesting. If you win 5 out of 5, you get €60. That's cool. But I think they had more games in the Open than we do. They had a lot more games. Yeah, they had more. I don't think I'm strong enough to win enough prize money to matter, so it doesn't matter too much. But maybe I will be by the time it happens. Who knows? Who knows? I think that'll be it for now. I need to go get some food. But it's yeah, really cool that they have this nice little thing. They have a good sponsor and good prizes here. Yeah, that's cool. Maybe I'll check it out some more afterwards. I hope you guys are having a good day. I'll see you. It'll begin a little bit later today when I'm just gonna be playing some games on Fox, and you'll see how easily I would totally win these 12,000 euros. Anyway, have a good day, and I'll see you later.